All right guys, back with another stock analysis video here. And in this video, we're gonna be talking about Upwork and kind of my thought process behind it and why I ultimately bought it a little ways back. But first, before we get into that, if you could please like the video, if you like this content I'm putting out, and subscribe to the channel and turn that notification bell on. These things really help the channel grow. And these videos I make really take a lot of time. The research and the editing that goes into it, you wouldn't even believe how long it takes. It's basically like a part-time job essentially. Probably more than that, more like a full-ish time job, we'll say. Anyway, a little while back when I bought Upwork, I was sitting down and I was thinking, what companies are benefiting from this situation the world is in right now? And I was thinking Walmart benefited because, well, there was a period of time where people needed 3 months of food stacked up at minimum. They never had enough toilet paper, and a bottle of hand sanitizer basically wasn't allowed to stay on the shelf for more than 30 seconds. Amazon's definitely benefited because, well, obviously it's just easier to buy things online. It's safer to buy things online, I guess, in a time like this. And granted, they were backed up for a long time, but if you need something that's not really imminent, like you don't need it immediately, then you might as well just buy it online and wait for it rather than go to the store. And it's more convenient that way too. Netflix is another one that's definitely benefited from this too, because for a while, no one was allowed to leave. It was basically like you go to the grocery store, you go to work, if you're going to work, if you're still working, and you don't leave your house otherwise. And that led to obviously nothing to do, and still a lot of people are just trying to stay home as much as possible, and honestly I can't blame them, especially if they're at high risk. But anyway, Netflix definitely benefited because there just wasn't anything to do. And then I thought of the unemployment rate, and I thought the unemployment rate's really high. It's still higher, even though it's come down, it's still higher than what it was in the 2008 financial crisis. And then that made me think of freelancing. And even me personally, I've looked into some freelancing projects in the past when I was maybe on break from school, or maybe I was in a class that wasn't overly challenging, didn't take up all my time. I would look into freelancing projects to see if I could pick up some extra money. And the site I used for that was Upwork. Now, if you're not familiar with Upwork, basically just put a little tiny bit of blurb description, however you want to describe it on there. Basically what Upwork is, it's a website where, say, I don't know, you own a business or maybe a YouTube channel or a blog or anything along those lines, something small, and you don't want to or you can't really afford to hire a full-time employee, you can go on Upwork and you can hire a freelancer, and you hire them to do a specific project, or maybe it's a specific period of time, like 6 months until the project's done, or something along those lines. And if you end up liking them and they're willing to work with you, you can keep them long-term, or once that project's done or once that timeline ends, you can shake hands and go your separate ways. And on the flip side of that, I probably should have explained this first. Basically what a freelancer is a person that works for themselves in a way, in the aspect they do what they want to do, they pick the projects they want to work on, but at the same time, they're also working for someone. So for example, say someone has a YouTube channel and they want to put up more videos, but they don't want to edit the videos. You can hire a video editor to help edit those videos. So that video editor essentially picks the YouTube channel or maybe the videos he wants to edit, but he has to work for a person. So he can pick the person, but he has to work for a person. Guys like Matt Diavella, there we go. He was a freelancer for a while before he started his own YouTube channel, but a lot of filmmakers and people like that are freelancers. Sorry if that was a little confusing, if that didn't make sense, but you know, we're just gonna go with it, forget it. Anyway, Hayden Brown came out and said that since the virus first started, it's caused drastic remote work and it's gonna lead to more freelancing. And I completely agree. I think that people are gonna have trouble finding work, and once unemployment runs out, and since that $600 is not around right now, and it's a little indecisive of where those unemployment benefits are gonna go in the imminent future, I think people might turn to freelancing a little bit. Maybe they have some sort of skill that they've always had maybe as a hobby, and they might be saying, well, maybe I can make some money off of this, and maybe when I do get back into the workforce, I can use it as a little side hustle for a little extra cash. And for the people that are working from home, I think they're just not really going to want to give that up. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy working from home, and I understand the whole philosophy behind I don't like to work in my house. I like to leave to go to work. I just don't like to combine, I guess, pleasure or living and work, which I get that. But personally, and I've said this over and over again, work from home just has so many wins in my opinion. You don't have to worry about getting dressed in the morning. If you start working at 8:30, you could essentially set an alarm for 8:15 or even 8:25 if you can just get up and start working like that. And you don't have to worry about putting on a shirt and tie or just getting dressed nice in general, whatever it may be. You can go do different things on your lunch break. You can go for a run, you can exercise, and you don't have to worry about coming back to the office all sweaty. I remember when I was going to the office, I really didn't like to leave in the summertime because I like to walk during my lunch, but I would come back all sweaty because it's like 90 degrees and I'm in like, nice clothes, like dress clothes, shirt and tie, and it's just not very comfortable to work the second half of the day like that. You can make a fresh lunch. You don't have to make it the night before and have it sit, and it's just fresh, and obviously fresh is just better. And most importantly, you don't have to waste the time driving to and from work. You have that hour or 30 minutes or whatever it is throughout your day to do different things, whether it's spend time with your family, pick up a new hobby, whatever it is, you just have more time. And like I said, I think people are just gonna have a hard time getting out of this and going back to that office routine again. So this might lead to a lot more people turning to some sort of freelancing thing, especially the up and coming generation. Anyway, Hayden Brown also just said recently that Upwork's been getting interest from larger companies, and that also makes a lot of sense to me. Think about it. If you hire someone for a temporary position, whatever the company is, and you know the funding's only going to be there for so long, and you know it's definitely a slam dunk temporary position, wouldn't it be easier and more efficient to hire someone with the desired experience you're looking for that specific project, rather than going through all the resumes of people that are just applying because they need to get back into the workforce, and the people that don't really fit that role, and the people that ultimately just don't have the experience for that particular project? Like I just said, that just makes more sense to me. I feel like it's just more effective and efficient. Again, I'm repeating myself, but you don't have to say someone's only going to be there for 6 months or a year. You don't have to waste the first month or two training them. Like, that's 10% or 20% of the time there. It's just not really worth it to waste time like that. Anyway, when I first started looking into freelancing and educating myself on the topic, I was under the impression that Upwork was king and Fiverr was behind it. But this says differently. And for those of you that don't know what Fiverr is, it's basically the same thing as Upwork. It's just another freelancing site. Anyway, Fiverr has a greater market cap than Upwork. It trades higher than Upwork, and I really don't understand why. For starters, look at the revenue growth of Upwork compared to Fiverr. Upwork has grown from just under 165 million in 2016 to over 300 million in 2019, as opposed to Fiverr, which has grown from 52 million in 2017 to 107 million in 2019. So think about that for a second. Fiverr would basically need to triple its revenue to be at the level Upwork is at. As for the gross profit, Upwork's grown from 101 million in 2016 to 212 million in 2019. While Fiverr, on the other hand, has grown from 38 million in 2017 to 84 million in 2019. Similar thing here, Fiverr would basically need to triple its gross profit to compete with Upwork. And if you're looking at the net income, Fiverr takes bigger losses there as well. Fiverr's lost $34 million in 2019 compared to Upwork's loss of $16 million. And to clarify, Upwork is not profitable either. They're both, Upwork and Fiverr are not profitable, but Fiverr's taking greater losses than Upwork is right now. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Fiverr. I think both of these companies have room to grow. I think there's a space where they can both grow together, I guess you could say. I don't see anything wrong with Fiverr's business model after looking into it. I'm just saying, personally, I think Upwork is better, and I think Upwork will be the superior in the end. And most importantly, I think Upwork's just a better deal right now. Moving towards the estimates in terms of growth of revenue for Upwork, the current quarter, they're projected to grow over 14%. Next quarter, they're projected to grow over 15%. For the entire year of 2020, they're projected to grow over 17%. And for 2021, they're projected to grow over 14%. And I really wouldn't be surprised at all if in 2021, the estimates were much greater than 14%. They grew over 23% in 2017 and over 25% in 2018 and over 18% in 2019. They also did release their most recent quarter's earnings on August 4th. Revenue grew by 19% year over year to 87.5 million, which exceeded the guidance that was provided to investors. And we'll touch on the CEO a little bit here to wrap things up before we get into whether I think you should be buying this stock, if it's a good buy still. And the CEO is Hayden Brown. She recently just took over as CEO in January of this year. She's had a number of different roles with Upwork, and she's been there since 2011. She's had different leadership roles in both the product and the marketing sectors. And she also held a corporate development role at Microsoft early in her career. That's appealing to me because obviously everyone knows about Microsoft, everyone knows what Microsoft is. But Microsoft is part of a very small percentage of companies which has over $1 trillion market cap. So I'm sure while she was working with Microsoft, she had to have picked up something pertaining to good qualities backing her. I also tend to find women CEOs very interesting in general because such a small percentage of women are CEOs. I think only 5 or 6% of Fortune 500 companies have a woman as their CEO. So when I see something like that, it really interests me a lot. And looking at Hayden Brown's background, that also makes me feel good about it. And basically as a whole, I just believe she is the best fit for this company right now. So is this stock a buy? I would say yeah. Under $20, I think it's a good buy. Under $15, I think it's a really, really attractive buy. I actually just bought more of this the other day when it was around $14. So yeah, I would say if you look into it and you like it, I would say $14 is a good buy. And anything under $15, I mean, is a good buy. Anyway, guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you're buying Upwork and what you think of Upwork. And I'll see you guys in the next video.